Hi guys, so I have another review for you, and this time it's gonna be the newest Dede signature palette, which is called Drops of Fantasy. And I'm gonna show you 3 looks with this palette, swatches, close-ups, and all that good stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that. In case you're new here, hi, my name is Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows especially, clearly, and that's exactly what this video will be about. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and now let's just jump right into this video. So there's gonna be 3 looks. This is one of them. It's gorgeous, and I'm gonna use every single shade that is in this gorgeous colorful summery palette and tell you what I think about them and how it's kind of been working out for me. But this palette is a 15-pan palette. You have 10 mattes and 5 shimmers. They're all sorts of different colors. I think they're inspired by like a kaleidoscope or something. I'm not completely sure. And this one is, as I said, 15 eyeshadows. It weighs 21 grams. It's cruelty-free, and the eyeshadows are supposed to last you 36 months. So I think that's like a really wonderful deal. All of these shades are magnetic, so you can pop them out and rearrange them. For example, I have the Chromebook Volume 2, so I could definitely like rearrange the shades or kind of build my own color story with both of these. I think I'm gonna use this palette a lot with her to add more shimmers and more like variety of shimmers. But like this color story, I'm sorry, but if I were to create a perfect palette for me, you know, like my dream palette, it would be so similar to this. It's actually like kind of frightening. And the first time I saw this palette, I was like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted the currency from Davini to be like, because that's what I've been trying last year at the end of summer. And it was also like very colorful. I think there was similar color story to this. Definitely a lot of the shades kind of remind me a lot the currency palette. And for the currency, I didn't like the shimmers. And I think there was like one matte that I also felt like isn't on par with the rest of the formula. This, already from what I've tried, because I've already filmed 2 looks, is gorgeous. It is just so gorgeous. And I don't think that I'm gonna have the same problem as with the currency palette, which I no longer own. And it's I've immediately declared that out of my collection. So we're gonna be focusing on this beautiful little baby. And let me show you how I created this look and then the other 2. I will also pop in the swatches of this one. You have a really nice variety. Like you have that really vibrant kind of like green apple shade, then a couple different purpley pinks / lilacs. Like the Frenzy is very lilac-y, then Spheres is very like hot pink going into purple, and then Globules, I'm sure that's not how you're supposed to pronounce that, but I don't know how. That one is very like Halloweeny purple. You know, Hype is super vibrant yellow. It's like a neon yellow, but it's not like too green based. Like it's very just like super bright yellow. And then Mirage is this like deep green, but it's still like vibrant deep green. It's usually with deep greens you have kind of that like foresty, like murky or like grayish green, but this one is still very vibrant. And you have Euphoria as the last row of mattes, and that was very like seafoamy minty green. Facade is beautiful peach. Frenzy, as I said, is a gorgeous lilac. Droplets is this vibrant blue, like super vibrant blue. And then Reeds is this gorgeous royal blue. And from the shimmers, like the Poptastic Vibes is like a soft green going into pink with like peach gold flip to it as well. Very soft, beautiful, summery, and also springy shade. Then you have the Spheres of Fun, which is very like reddish orange peach. And And this one is slightly chunkier. Then you have the Floating in Magic, which looks to be like a really soft, sparkly, slightly drier formula than the rest. And I actually love these formulas. And this one looks to be that kind of like pink, purple, going into this like blue, green, gold sparkle. Like this is kind of like a very usual type of flip, but I really do like them. And this shade, especially with this formula, always reminds me of like fairies. And then you have the Bubble with Joy, which is like a light pale yellow going into this kind of like soft, almost like a champagne green. I don't know how else to describe this shade. Then the last shimmer is the shade Fizz and Fly, which is this very like iridescent neon blue to purple, and the base is very like non-existent. It's just like a soft, almost skin toned like base, or at least when I flip it, like I can barely see it from an angle, but then it shines this vibrant like UV purpley blue. And I love shades like that because you can kind of use them over any matte color and it will always just look extremely interesting and just super wet looking. And those are all the shades and their descriptions, or the way that I see them in the palette. And now let's jump into the first look. Okay, so today we're gonna be playing with the Drops of Fantasy by Dede Signature. And I want to play with like the yellow and the blues because like if a palette has shades like that, I just need to use it. It's like a rule. I'm pretty sure that it's somewhere in the Constitution. This is actually my second look, but I know that I'm posting this as the first look. I'm gonna start with Droplets. This blue one. I already used my ColourPop shadow sticks in the shade Hey Boo because I want these to be like super vibrant, and I know that they probably would be with my regular eyeshadow primer because I've already tried this palette once, and I used that with a regular primer. Sorry, there's just like this little chunk bothering me. But I just want to, try it differently and see if something's gonna change. So, as I said, Droplets, I'll zoom you in. Okay, I have my Singe Beauty EO6. And let's get into the vibrant blue shade. All throughout the crease. Oh, that is beautiful shade. And so I feel like on the white, it's a lot easier to like blend everything out into just like a pastel. Whereas when I use a skin tone primer, sometimes the blending out, like I do need a pastelier shade to blend it out. Whereas with this, it kind of happens on its own. So I feel like it saves me time and I don't have to go and look for another palette. Then we're gonna use the deeper kind of royal blue, which is called Beads. So pretty. And I like that you have like droplets and beads. Like that's pretty cute. Let's see over here. Yeah, that's definitely deeper. Now I'm gonna use, what kind of brush am I gonna use? I don't have that many brushes here at my grandparents' house, but I'm gonna use this Refer 12. And I think I'm gonna add in a bit of like pinky purple. So I have this like lilac-y shade here called Frenzy. If I pronounce any of these shade names wrong, it's kind of hard to even read what it's called. So, just so that you know, that might not be completely just my fault and the fact that I can't speak English. But yeah, I'm using that over here. And also under the brows to kind of blend it out. So I feel like that could be really pretty. And yeah, this is a really, really beautiful lilac-y shade. I'm gonna use that white pencil again. And I'm just gonna create like, I wanna add the yellow. So we're gonna do like a cutout over here. Kind of like this. I'm gonna obviously, work on the shade, but yeah, a little cutout here. And now I'm gonna take a fluffy packing brush, maybe just like I'm gonna use this Refer 13, and I think it's dry enough, we'll see. And I'm gonna use the shade Hype, this vibrant yellow. I'm sorry, but this yellow would look wonderful with everything. Like, I want to do a look eventually with like the yellow, the peach, and then and this shade that will be wonderful. Yellow with green, obviously. Yellow with the steely shade, gorgeous. With all the purples, stunning. Like, you can use the yellow with everything in this palette, and then it will be gorgeous. It's literally one of my favorite shades to mix in with other colors. Oh yeah. Yeah. That is what we like. That is what we want. That is what makes us happy. I love how it's blending into the green because we have the blue underneath, and that you have still like a little bit of that pinky lilac on the lower part. I think on the lower lash line, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna use the lilac-y shade in the first half, kind of make it pop, because it's not that visible. Yeah, something like this. And then on the second half, I think I'm gonna use the yellow actually. Will it like make sense when it comes to the color placement? Maybe not, but I still want to do it. And I want to see, yeah, like without a white base, it's still pretty fucking yellow. And I'm gonna just like slightly create like a little bit of a liner. And now a shimmer brush, and we're gonna use the shade Fizz and Fly, which definitely has like blue and purple in there, maybe pink. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, sorry. This one, is it Fizz and, yeah, Fizz and Fly. So we'll see if it's gonna work on the brush, because previously I used the kind of peachy reddish orange shade in this palette, and that one didn't really work with the brush. I had to use my finger, but I think this one will be doable with a brush. So let's see. Oh yeah. That is beautiful. Just gonna like bait the brush a little bit more in the eyeshadow. And yeah, that is so pretty. And yeah, it is like a really vibrant purple going into blue, and it also has like a pink in there. I think now you're gonna see mostly like a tealy blue, but in the actual palette there's a lot of purpliness happening when I kind of twist and turn this palette around. So this will be a beautiful, more like a toppery. You know what, I can see the purple on this eye. I don't know if you, but I can. So yeah, this one is a very beautiful, pretty iridescent, lightweight multi-chrome. Which that's exactly what I would imagine from Dede Signature, because that's kind of what I got used to with the Chromebook Volume 2 palette that I have from them. That has been my only palette from them so far, so I'm glad I got this one as well, because that will be just like a beautiful sister to it, because this one is matte heavy and the other one is shimmer heavy. I will use the Poptastic Vibes in the inner corner. This one looks kind of like a soft gold peach green, like that kind of like soft green. It reminds me of Tinkerbell. And over this it's gonna look pink, I assume. Oh no, there's a bit of that green too. Yeah, that is so pretty. I might use this as a highlighter today, like on the face. I feel like that could look really pretty. Okay, so here is the final look. I love this. Like, I love this so much. So let me actually show you what I used. So apart from what I already mentioned, sorry, I keep bumping into the the camera. But I used the Spectra pencil from Glisten. This one is the yellow one. So this one, it's not as bright as I would love it to be, but still, it's a yellow pencil. And I have the L'Oreal Panorama Volume Mascara, my Rimmel, my Maybelline Superstay Concealer. I knew I'm saying that wrong, but I couldn't remember the word. Then as a lippy, I have this Kaleidos Cloud Lip Clay in the shade Fiamma, which is this like fuchsia pink. It's a really interesting shade, and I wanna kind of focus on it. And my other Kaleidos lipsticks, but because I've had them for at least 2 years, I think now. So yeah, I should get some use out of them. Then as a blush, I have this Franken eyeshadow from the Merry Christmas palette by Odense Eye, and it's the shade Gingerbread, together with a Essence setting powder, and I actually mixed that with this Glamlight Scooby-Doo blush duo with Wilma and Daphne, and I used this pink shade, which kind of dialed it down, and so it's not that dark and it's not full on orange, it's more like a peach, which is kind of more like what I wanted, especially with this look that is mostly cool toned or like cooler toned. You know, I didn't want it full on orange blush. And then as a highlighter on my face, I have the shade Monarch, this one from the Chromebook Volume 2 by Dede Signature. So let me kind of zoom you in. And yeah, this is the look. Okay, so today we're gonna be playing with the Drops of Fantasy eyeshadow palette from Dede Signature. This is my first time trying it, but I think it's your second look that you're seeing from me. But yeah, this is how the palette looks like. It is absolutely beautiful. Lately, I've been really thinking about the like peach to green combos. I haven't worn them in a really long time, and I've been like meaning to do that. So I think we're gonna do peach and green today, even though I've been wearing green looks for the past 2 weeks, like every single day. But I'm really like, I really want to do that. So I think we're gonna start with Facade, this beautiful, beautiful peachy orange. And I think we're gonna use this and this green later. So that's kind of like the plan. I don't know if it's... I'm probably gonna film 2 looks today, and I think the second one I'm filming is the first one you're gonna see. But I just want to test out the waters and, you know. And by the way, I bought this on Monolith. I don't know if I mentioned that in the intro because I haven't filmed that one yet. But yeah, Facade first, this beautiful peachy shade. And we're gonna use that in the inner half of the crease. I've been using the Chromebook Volume 2 a lot lately because it's my palette crush of the month, and the more I use it, the more I love it. So I can't even wait to... Oh, this is such a beautiful peachy shade. I can't wait to like play with this, and I definitely want to use it a lot in the summer. Like this palette, I think will be just so perfect for the summer. I'm gonna start with a lighter green, and it's called Excitement. And it is a beautiful, beautiful green. Like, kind of like a vibrant green apple shade. I love how bright these are. That's exactly the color story that I want to see from brands. Oh yeah, do you see this? This is such a beautiful green. These types of greens just make me so happy. This is so vibrant. I just love bright matte shades that are easy to like use and blend, and so far Dede Signature's formula is just so wonderful. I seriously don't understand how I, first of all, haven't really heard about them much before, and also haven't used them, because like this is stunning. I don't really support overconsumption. I know that it can look like that from how many eyeshadows I have, or like palettes, but I really try to just keep whatever and buy whatever I think that actually like really adds to my collection and makes me genuinely just like happy beyond belief. And if I find out it just doesn't do that, I always try to find better home for it. And not I would never throw it away unless it's like old. I always try to either use it in a different way or find a better home, because that's just what I think is the right thing to do. And you don't have to do it that way. But for me, that's just what feels right and how I feel good about the way I use and own makeup products. Now I'm gonna use the deeper green called Mirage. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's one of those, it's always the words that I like. I feel like I've heard them many times, but I'm not completely sure how I've heard it. And also, like, sometimes I hear it in British English and sometimes in American English, and then I'm like fully confused as to how are they pronounced, because a lot of the times there is a difference for a lot of the names and words. So it just confuses me. Okay. NYX glitter primer, and then we're gonna get into the shimmer. So let me actually do that off camera. Okay, so in the outer part, I've used one of my Pendos eyeshadows. I will link the Pendos eyeshadows video down below, but it's the shade Neverland from Colourpop Tinkerbell palette. And then here in the first half, I tried to use the shade Spheres of Fun. I hope I'm reading that right. It's kind of hard to read the shade names, but this one. And I tried to use it with brush, but it doesn't really, it's slightly, this one is one of those, and I think it's the only one from this palette that is kind of like chunky. So I'm gonna use my finger, and it's slightly darker than I was expecting. Like, it's the same depth as in the pan, but I am kind of used to from the Chromebook Volume 2 that the shimmers are like lighter than they are in the pan and a lot more iridescent, so I guess I was just kind of expecting the same here. So it's slightly darker, but it's still really beautiful. It's kind of like a reddish orangey gold pink. Like, it is just very interesting shade, if I'm being honest. Like, I was not expecting that. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna use the shade Bubble with Joy. This one, which is beautiful. It looks like a soft yellow, maybe a bit of green. I don't know, we'll see. So that one in the inner corner. Oh yeah, yeah. That is pretty. That's very pretty. And that one definitely doesn't feel as chunky or as like oily, emollient, you know what I mean? For as the Chromebook Volume 2. So I think I'm gonna like this formula slightly more, even though it has less shimmers. And let me actually get the Chromebook Volume 2, and I think I'm gonna use one of the shimmers as a topper. And I think I'm gonna use the shade Fierce, because that one has also like a peachy flip. So I think I'm gonna use a little bit of this over here, just to make it slightly like, I don't know, just to fit more with the color story, I guess. And also because I want to slightly cover up the Pendos eyeshadow shade. I just wanted to have it there because I want to use it up. So I'm kind of layering, but yeah, this is pretty. It's not as peachy on the lid as I wanted, but that doesn't matter because I still like enjoy the way it looks. So that's for the look. Let me figure out what I want to do for the rest of the face, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the look is finished. It's definitely a lot more neutral than what I normally go for, but I decided to just do like one, because the other ones are probably gonna be like very, very colorful. So I just decided to make this one slightly more like calmer for anyone who like isn't fully into like peacocky looks. So Did I? Oh, so what I added. I have my Revolution Streamline Eyeliner in the shade Hot Pink. In the waterline that I have the Panorama mascara from L'Oreal. I have my Superstay concealer from Maybelline in the shade 10. Then I have this lip tint from Beauty Bay, and this one is called Scotch. It's a really nice shade. I feel like it matches this palette and this color story quite well. Then I have my Franken blush, which is the shade Gingerbread from the Merry Christmas palette by Uden's Eye, and it's Franken with a setting powder from Essence. It's the All About Matte. By the way, this is the green that I used in the outer part, like the shimmer shades. And then I actually mixed that blush color with the shade Facade because I wanted to, like, the gingerbread shade is like really deep orangey brown, like very, very orange, but like deep. And yeah, very like, not like gingerbread, like very pumpkin type of orange. And it's a bit too dark, so this definitely made it like slightly more pinky and slightly lighter in tone. There's like a little bit of skipping over here because I think, I don't know, there's like uneven texture on my face. I'm also like breaking out like crazy. I think you've noticed that I'm red everywhere. I don't know what's happening. And so I mixed these two shades to create a blush. And then for highlighter, I have my Beauty Bay Mini Charms palette, which is my Panda palette, well, one of my Panda palettes, Pando's palettes for this year. And I've used the shade Pluto, which is this one right here. It's a Franken shade actually, and it's a beautiful goldy shade. So let me kind of zoom you in, and yeah, this is the entire look done. Oh, I also used the shade Pluto on my brow bone, so yeah, I kind of decided to play with it that way, and I think it's a really, really pretty look. I like the way everything feels. Like it, I have nothing bad to say about this one. So yeah, that's kind of the whole look. Hi guys, it's kind of the look that I came up with. I wasn't feeling like the best today, which is annoying because it's the first day of Pride Month for me, and I just, I wish I was feeling better, but unfortunately I'm not. So this is the best that I could come up with, and let me kind of show you what I used. So obviously I had to kind of give a chance to my Pando's eyeshadows. So I used the shade Matcha Cookie, which as you can see, I don't have much of. Much of, yeah. Okay. Together with the Salmon 2 by Uden's Eye, and I used the shade Galaxy. So these two I mixed to create my brow shade. Today I feel like it's slightly more purpley, but we have a purple look, so it doesn't matter. It was on mistake. It was a mistake, but we can call that a happy accident. And I have the Super Lock Brow Glue from Maybelline that I'm currently testing out. And then on my lids, so I have the Wet n Wild Mega Last Eyeshadow Primer. And from the Dede Signatures palette, let me actually zoom you in because I always forget to do that. Okay, so I have, let me actually figure that out. So I have Spheres. This beautiful, beautiful vibrant shade is like the main crease shade. Then I used Globules. I'm not completely sure how to pronounce that, but this shade to deepen the eye look. And I have a little bit of Frenzy in the inner corner and under the brows, just to like brighten it up a bit. Then I used my Maybelline Superstay concealer to cut the crease. I don't even know if you can see the fact that I cut the crease. But I used the shade Euphoria there to have like a little bit of that tealy base, because for shimmers, started with NYX glitter primer, and then all around the eye is the shade Floating Magic, this beautiful, beautiful shade, and to create like a little bit more of a depth in the outer part, I actually used my Pando's eyeshadows from the Mini Charms palette by Beauty Bay. And I used the shade Eclipse, which is this one over here. It's like deep purple. And I also used a little bit of the Chromebook Volume 2 by Dede Signature, and I've used the shade Ambassador over there as well to just make it like deep and sparkly, but still the shade from the Drops of Fantasy is like over that. So like really shine. I just wanted to have like a different base so that it flips more, and maybe you can even see, but this one is more like sparkly and it doesn't really flip too much, but it's still gorgeous. And then I have the Bubble with Joy, this one in the inner corner. So that's what I'm wearing for the eyeshadows. Then I have this Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the shade light blue in my waterline, and also here for that little line. I have my Panorama mascara from L'Oreal. Obviously the Maybelline Superstay as the concealer. Sometimes I just forget basic words that I use every single day. And I have the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner crayon, and this one is in the shade Free Spirit to kind of map out my lip line. And then I used this Udens Eye and Angelica Halloween lipstick from like the collection, and this one is the matte one in the shade Shadow Creature. It's a beautiful kind of like reddish. It's a really gorgeous shade that I love to use. I just sometimes when I'm at work, yeah, this is like a little bit too, I don't know, like I can't wear this to work because I can't wear shades like that. Sorry, there's something wrong with my hair. Whatever. I can't wear shades like that for a full day because I drink and eat a lot. So it all kind of smudges everywhere. And I never like notice that, and then I look crazy. So I usually only wear them at home or in the evenings. But this one is gorgeous. It's my Project Pan lipstick. I can't see how much is inside, but I've definitely used it a lot. I think I've used it like almost 20 times since the beginning of the year. And obviously you layer this quite a lot, so maybe we'll use it up at some point. Maybe, who knows. Then I have my Franken blush. This is the gingerbread shade from the Merry Christmas palette. And I actually tried, because I didn't want it to have like a full-on orange cheeks. I mean, they are still quite orange, but they're more like a peachy orange, and I wanted to kind of dial it down. And what I found out, I mixed it with this gray, like very pastel-y gray shade. This one is Ice Crystal from the Christmas Eve. And when you mix these two, they kind of create like a soft, peachy blush, which is amazing because then I can like use up two shades that I don't really have a use on my eyes too much, because I just don't really wear them all that much. This one is like too pumpkiny, and this one is very cool tone, and I don't always go for that. So now I can use these two, create a blush, and be done with it. And this is like a very everyday color for me. Like it might look a little bit more orange on the camera, but in real life, it actually looks a lot like the Revolution Fast Base blush, the peach one. And that is like my everyday blush. Like if I would wear it every single day for the entire year, it would be perfectly fine. Like it works with every single color that I can possibly figure out on my eyes. It just works. And I'm so happy that I tried that. I was slightly like confused and concerned about it at first, but then I realized that it actually is working, and that would be just perfect if I would be able, because there's like similar amount in both of these pens, and I kind of really did that like half and half. So that means that I could use them up at the same time, and I don't have to use them on my eyes, and I can focus on other things on my eyes. Oh, I feel so accomplished. So that's for blush. And then for highlighter, I actually went back into the Mini Champs palette, and I have this shade called Aurora, this pinky one, on my cheeks. And I also used the Cosmic one, which is this blue one, underneath the brow bone. I think you can maybe see that slightly, I don't know, but it's under there, and it is just so pretty. And I just wanted to focus on this one a little bit because it's my Panda palette, one of my Panda's palettes. So, you know, I just wanted to get some uses and maybe take a couple grams off of this one. Well, like 0 point something grams off of this one. But when it comes to the Drops of Fantasy, It is absolutely gorgeous. I am kind of toying with the idea of making it my palette crush of the month next time, because again, like for summer, I don't think I would be able to create a look where I wouldn't need any of these shades. Like genuinely, I can use this for every single day, even just one of the shades from that. At least I would have a way to test it. So I'm kind of thinking about that, but also there are other pads that I also want to use. But this one would be like really easy to use every single day. Maybe I'm gonna do that at some point during summer because it is beautiful. But the quality is absolutely wonderful. I think the shimmers are better than in the Chromebook. They're not as iridescent sparkly and like wet looking, but they don't they're not as chunky. The only one that's slightly chunky is the Spheres of Fun, but you can work with it. You just have to use your fingers or a brush that is similar to your fingers. Maybe you have one of those spongy brushes. Maybe that could work actually. But overall, I think for me, these are gonna be like the duo that I'm gonna use all the time together because, you know, I just feel like they work really well. And I mean, for today, I used one of the shades yesterday. I think I also used some shade from the Chromebook together with this palette. So, you know, I think there's definitely a lot to do with this one. And there's so many combinations that I haven't tried, but I do really want to try. For like my daily makeup wear, yeah, definitely like the yellow with the peaches and pinks. That one would be wonderful. I kind of want to try these two together. I feel like that it could be really pretty too. Kind of the blue with the peach as well. Like I think that could also really work well. Obviously like green with purple. Yeah, there's so many kind of varieties to be had. Like maybe I'm just gonna do like a couple random number generators, maybe like pick 3 random shades from this palette and try to come up with a look around that, because I can see that being successful with this one. So yeah, that's just kind of like a little idea that I'm having currently, and I have nothing bad to say about this one. Like it is genuinely a stunning palette, and I'm so happy that I bought this one. I'm currently kind of like on a low buy. Let me actually zoom you out. I'm currently kind of like on a low buy, and I'm trying to like not really buy that many palettes and I really like focus on what I already have. Because I don't want to, like lately I've been getting a lot of followers and subscribers, and I kind of want to build my community on using what you have instead of constantly buying something. I know there's a lot of reviews that I've been pushing out, but still, like I want this to be mainly like just ranking, swatching, talking about makeup, enjoying it. I want to film more like palette bingos and all of these kind of challenges, instead of just and like creating BYOPs and like duping palettes instead of constantly buying. So I hope that's something you will enjoy. But this one, I'm so happy that I kind of made an exception for, and I'm slowly but surely getting really addicted to Dede Signature. I think they have a wonderful formula, and they kind of combine incredible mattes with incredible shimmers. There's brands that I really love for their mattes, and there's brands that I like genuinely cannot live without for their shimmers. And there's not that many brands that I'm genuinely like I need both. Like I love both of those formulas. The ones that come to my mind are Gourmand Girls. They're exceptional. The Everyone is also wonderful. Wonderful brand. Obviously now Dede Signature and Fantasy Cosmetica. Those are like the first that came to my mind. If I would like search through the list of palettes that I own, like I would definitely come up with more than that. But these are the ones that currently just like immediately popped. It could be also because I used these brands and palettes not that long ago, and there are a couple of palettes in my collection that haven't been used in a while, but those are definitely the ones that I would mention, and this one is no exception to that. just this color story makes me so happy. It's currently very like gloomy and rainy outside, and like I think there's gonna be like storms out when I'm gonna be traveling to my dorm, but seeing this color story, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter. It could be like full on black sky outside, and I would just still be super happy because I have this in front of me. So I highly recommend this one. Let me know which look was your favorite. I love that blue yellow one. That one was just like the most gorgeous one, but like I don't want to constantly do looks like that, but it just, if it looks like a peacock color star, I just have to do it. Oh, by the way, I currently I have gotten notification from YouTube that I can start up a channel membership, which I would really love to do because it would kind of help me finance this channel. And I continue posting because, you know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I'm kind of tired, and you know, and I would like to just kind of improve the quality, but I need obviously finances for that. So I've been thinking about that membership, and it's definitely gonna be called something with peacocks because like I can't help myself, but I don't know the name yet. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But let me know what you would like to see from my channel membership, like what perks would you like to get from that, if you want like get ready with me's and like chatting, or some kind of special collections, BYOPs, like whatever you want me to, or you know, you could like pick my eyeshadows to pan, or I don't know, like whatever you would like me to do for that membership, just let me know down below. And I would love to do that. I thought that maybe you could like vote on some more important things, like maybe vote on the movie I'm gonna be reacting to, or vote for like my Panda palette next year, you know, like for these more important decisions, or like, you know, or vote which palette I should review first. You know, I thought that I could give you like that kind of perk with the membership. So let me know what you would prefer. I think I'm gonna create like a poll asking you about that, but yeah, let me know down below. And with that being said, that is everything for today, and have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow with another video. So bye.